Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you are entertained, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. I was asked by Kurt if I could go over LEAPS and how to do them and all the education for them. So this is my attempt, and let's get right into that. Let's start with the definition. So LEAP is a long-term equity anticipation securities, and that is a terrible acronym. So the thing to know about LEAPS is just it's any option that is at least 1 year away from being expired. So 1 year into the future. And it's usually between 1 and 3 years. And it can be a put, a call, a spot, and sold. So just going over again what all of these different options are for options. When you sell, you make money right away. When you buy, you pay money. And when you sell and you're making the money right away, it obligates you to act in a certain way. So with calls, you agree to sell at an agreed price. And when you sell a put, you're obligated to buy at an agreed price if the market moves away that against you. And then when you buy a call, you pay money that gives you the right to buy at an agreed price. And when you buy a put, you pay money and it gives you the right to sell at the agreed price. So when I am talking about a leap, though, I am usually talking about a buy call. I am buying a call so that I have the right to buy at an agreed price. So the only delta that I usually focus on, or the only Greek that I focus on is delta. And a lot of YouTubers recommend between 0.7 and 0.8 for the delta. And the reason for that is because that's for a conservative strategy, and a lot of people are giving recommendations that are for wide audiences. It is much better to give a more conservative type of advice, but it is also acceptable to do less than 7. It's just that it comes with more risk. There's more leverage, and you should know what you're doing, and it should align with what you're trying to achieve when you enter into a leap position. Also, you don't have to do a cover call on your leap in order for it to be a leap. Leap is just holding it that it is over a year until expiration. So, and that's where I got into trouble. It wasn't really trouble, it was just I was confused because you can buy a call that's more than a year in the future in your Roth IRA on Robinhood, but you cannot sell calls and use that as the collateral in your Roth IRA. So you can hold the leap, but you can't use that as a control for 100 shares to sell a call. That's what, but you can do that in your taxable account. So when I first did that, and I thought that I bought my call in my Roth IRA, but it was actually in my taxable account. And then the next day I did it. I bought my call in my Roth IRA, and then I found out that I couldn't sell a call, so then I was just like, it's fine. We don't need to do that. So I sold my call I sold to close for a little bit of a profit and just close that leap option in my IRA. And then now in my taxable account, that's where I sell calls and use my leap option as my collateral for that. So if it's at 0.8 or above your delta, you've paid a lot of money and it behaves a lot like the stock. And because the 0.8 delta, the strike price is very low, So you have a better chance of it being profitable when it expires. And so 0.7 is a good balance between the leverage and having to put up capital for opening the sleep position. 6 is also acceptable, but as you get down to like 5 and less, it doesn't act correlated with the stock, and it's becomes a leveraged mess. However, you had to put up way less capital. So if you do the math yourself, because before I went ahead with doing a LEAP option, I had actually used a spreadsheet to say, like, if I made profits of like $6 a day, and I did that for 2 years, basically, if I make $6 a day, I break even on the amount of capital that I put forward in my option that I bought. However, in 2 years, because I got the money back from selling the calls, so when I sell for profit, that's when I'm going to realize, a 60% gain, hopefully. So just putting that as a thought in there. So when you're selling a LEAP on SPY, I would recommend, if I was making any recommendations, which I'm not making recommendations because I'm not a financial planner or an advisor, but just go with the last, like if you go into Legend and you're looking at the option train, just go with the oldest one that's available and go down to the current price and just look around and see. And this ask here is what you would be paying to open a position that's a LEAP. So at 0.6 delta, you would be paying $11,200, which is a lot of money. And then I wound up doing a 0.74 for mine. So right now, it would be $17,600 to open up this LEAP, this bot call. However, $17,600 is still less than $60,024 that you would need if you just bought 100 SPY. So it's all about perspective and how much capital you have, and it's really like how much risk are you willing to tolerate and how much capital do you have per contract. So if you don't have that much money, you say like, well, I only have $1,000. You could go up here and say, well, I'll do this. It's slightly in the money. And so between like this 9,000, basically you just add this, and that's your break even price. So this bet is that in 2 years, the SPY will be at $700 or more. So you could, the further up you get, you have the right to buy it for more than it's worth right now. So none of the intrinsic value is there. But if you only have, $7,000, then you could open up the position and use this for your covered call. And then hopefully, even if you have to roll this over in 2 years for a slight loss, hopefully the amount that you got with your covered calls makes up for that. Just putting that out there as a technique too. But most people would recommend that you go with a higher delta. It's more conservative. You can look at this more like the percent chance that this will work in your favor. Because this is an 82% chance of working out for you, an 85% chance of it working out for you. So, yeah. And so, what we've been talking about recently were opening up a synthetic position, which does not work with Robinhood. What the synthetic cover call that YieldMax uses, it requires us to be able to do a naked put, and Robinhood doesn't allow us to do that. But if you go somewhere to like Interactive Brokers, I believe, does let you do that. And what the naked put would do is, like, you bought for so like if you bought this call at $20,200, but then you sold a put and you made $1,663, that difference between those two, that is the most money that you have at risk. So, and I would rather have like a almost 0.8 delta and pay only like $4,000 total for that and it not be leveraged mess than to go with something that is like way above the strike price and it not working out for me. So you can on Robinhood buy the call and sell a put for the same like day and expiration, but that's not helpful because the point of this is that I only want to put up, $20,989. I don't want to have to put up this $20,000 and then also, $44,000. I may as well have just bought the stock at that point. Just putting that out there. But once you do have your LEAP, which I own 2 LEAPs right now. One is SoFi, which is a growth speculation that I'm doing. And the bet here is that within 2 years, SoFi will be above $15.50. But in the meantime, I can sell calls. I don't even know if I have... I don't think I have... Well, I don't think that's where I... But I don't know if I have a SoFi... Yep. I have a call here that's against my $7 LEAP. And a few things to note about doing LEAPs with Robinhood is that you are not allowed to have the call be assigned. So you have to buy to close your call if it gets too close. And if you're trying to do 0 day to expiration, like how Roundhill does it, they also require you to buy to close the position before the end of the day. So hopefully, like when you go into the SPY and say like it's Monday, you're looking at the options and you say, okay, it's 600 today and I would probably go with this 19-cent one. Not buy to open, but you would sell to open this cover call. And then by the end of the day, hopefully it's worth 6 cents. You would have made 12 cents. And my assumption was that every day I would make $6 of profit. So I could choose the 18 cents, the 11 cents, or the 30 cents, just depending on how I was feeling that day. And I mean, it works as a theory until it doesn't work. So at this point, I would probably do the 30-cent one. And then at the end of the day, I would close it for however much it's worth. But one thing to take into consideration is that if you trade too often, you become a pattern day trader, which means that if you get below $25,000, then you can't do options. So I wound up, only doing 0-day expiration 3 days a week. And then in December, when everything went bad, I actually don't have a consistent way that I'm doing this, but basically just once a week I will roll it forward to the next week that it's available. And then if I lose and the stock of like SPY goes up by a lot, then I will roll over the position to a higher price further into the future. So it's been working out pretty good for me so far, but time will tell how this is. But I mean, I've been getting more than XDTE, so there's that. Anyways, did this answer your question about LEAPS? Let me know if I can help you or whoever understand more. I think that overall, once you find the way that you operate and what works for you, that it's actually not that terrible to manage your own LEAP. And if you could afford more than one like LEAP option, I would do the latter. I would say like, okay, well today I want to average 6 cents of profit per contract. So I would just have like a contract here, contract here, contract here. And that way, when I close this at 5 cents and this at 5 cents and this at 5 cents, like it'll average out to be more. But it does require more babysitting than my MSTU, because my MSTU is not a LEAP, which means that I can get assigned and my shares can get assigned away, and it's not a big deal. So it just depends on your what vibes for you and your investment strategy. So anyways, this is YieldMite, and this is where I usually wind up comparing like 900, 470. That is what I paid for my LEAP contract. And so, I often get like a couple hundred a week, $100 a week, $50 a week. It's usually more than XDTE, but I think one of the reasons to invest in XDTE versus doing it yourself is that XDTE is 100% return of capital. So if you send a taxable account, it might be more tax efficient to be in something like XDTE. But that's just, I'm not a tax expert, but I think that's true. So tonight, for Financial Philharmonics, we have DOWN. It is a cheer about how you should buy the dip. Yeah, I'm bad. It's kind of my theme song now. And someday I'll live up to my reputation. And then Leverage Lever is a pirate shanty, because I am not giving up on that genre. And basically, someone had they fell in love with leverage, and then it bit them. So everybody Have a good night. Let me know what you think about LEAPS and doing your own options. Are you comfortable with doing your own options? Are you learning how to do it? Do you want me to talk less or more about options? And I will talk to you later. Bye.